So, how do you make a lot of money as a dev? It's it's a very complicated question, and there is no one answer to this. If you ask 10 different people, you can get 10 different answers. But there is one thing that's perfect, and I know I can guarantee you that it works. First things first, you have to make sure you got a couple years of experience writing code, right? So you understand how things work technically, right? Second important thing is you need to be able to talk the talk, right? You can walk the walk once you have the project, once you have won the project, but you got to be able to talk the talk if you want to make big money. So if you can talk, you have some dev experience. What's the third thing you need? Third thing that you need that a lot of people don't know about is specialization. Now, you can specialize in the tool itself. You can, for example, if you work with Python, you can become a Python expert. But that's not the type of specialization I'm talking about. I'm talking about something else that you can use that tool on. For example, um, many people will use many languages. They will use these languages to build many different things, but they don't specialize in anything. Maybe they are expert at writing code, but that's it. So, for example, if there is a person who specializes in systems that use Stripe payment gateway to take care of the payments on the site, then this person has a lot of value. That's a specialist, right? This person understands Stripe more than anyone else, and this person can charge a lot of money. This person can go out, sell themselves as a Stripe expert. They can look at your system, they can look at the big overview of the system, and they can tell you whether the system is going to work well or not, whether it's going to scale, whether you're going to have issues. They can see things from far away and they can tell you, and this advice can only come from specialists. So now you can specialize in anything, right? You can, for example, become a Salesforce expert, being able to work with all Salesforce APIs, how Salesforce works, um, integrate Salesforce with other systems, and many other things. You can become a Pipedrive expert. You can become um, HubSpot expert. So the tool is fine. The language you learn is fine. Becoming a good with the language itself is good too, but it's not gonna pay you a lot of money until you become an expert in something else as well. And like I said, it can be anything. you know, you can be an expert who works with X, Y, and Z APIs better than anyone else, and then you can sell yourself. Now you gotta remember the demand is gonna be very small for these type of people. So and it's gonna be very hard to find people who need these services as well. So, but if you can become an expert and find people who need this service, which is obviously hard, then you can charge them a lot of money, right? So it's something as well. I mean, not a lot of people are gonna talk about this. They'll tell you to learn certain things that are gonna be pointless, right? They're gonna teach you to learn X, Y, and Z tools. The tool will get you a job eventually. It might get you a good job. Might get paid 50K, 60K if you're here in London. But what's after that? If you're getting paid 60K, you're paying 40% tax on whatever is left after the allowance. You know, making a lot of money there. But as a specialist, you can go to a company yourself. I mean, like me, as an individual, I can sell you this service. Let's talk. Which is why I said you got to be able to talk the talk. And if this company needs this service, then they'll work with you. You can work as a consultant. You can kind of work as a contractor, freelancer, or just an advisor. you gotta remember, a lot of times people or companies have a lot of money. They're just looking for right people to pay. So in web development, it's not enough to just know the language itself. Well, look at it this way: you learn the language anyway when you're working on projects. You're building a complicated e-commerce system that integrates with XYZ, and you take a couple of years to build that, and because it's bespoke, you learn the language, but you're not specializing in anything. You're just another developer. There's 10 devs in the room, you're just another one. There is nothing that you know way more than other devs. So keep that in mind. Obviously, this advice is probably not for juniors, but specialization in things other than the language itself is very, very important. And that's where the big money is. Find people who need you, find people who need that, people with that specialization. And then obviously, gotta talk the talk, sell yourself. That's how people make a lot of money. They just specialize in certain things, and they do it better than other people. Find anything you're interested in, see if there is even a little bit of market, something popular, and then get really good at it. Sell yourself, you'll make a lot of money. Now there is other option as well. You can just keep doing job work. Um, you can just write code on this project or the other project. Couple years later, you change the company, then you're working on another project. The projects are a little bit different from one another. Another maybe you use some maybe some patterns are the same. Maybe the e-commerce is hooked to same system as the previous company. But that's very general stuff as well. At least in 2023, all that is generic stuff. That's not what you call specialty anymore. So pick a niche. I think that's the word. Pick a niche, and become expert at that. And that will also make you a good developer. That'll help you refine your knowledge in the language itself, because you're working on complicated stuff, right? So specialize. That's very important.